Hello family, welcome back to the Namaste Experience. As you know, I am in Italy. I am in Assisi right now, just a few days before the rest of the group joins together in Rome. And I'm so happy that I have the chance to come here and to share these short clips where I can get things moving in the right direction for our morning session. So why don't we begin by joining together in our morning affirmation. Please join me. My soul has but one goal, to awaken to the truth that is forever true. My heart has but one desire, to remember the passion of infinite bliss. My mind has but one focus, to embrace the reality that is forever real. I choose to awaken now to the infinite love that is my source. I give everything to this love, just as it has given everything to me. I am awake now. So here's my question. How feels everyone today? Awake and ready. How is everyone today? Awake and ready. I can feel that all the way from here. There is no time, even though I'm pre-recording this, I can feel your affirmation of your readiness right now, in this moment, because this is the only moment where it's happening. I know that doesn't make any sense intellectually, but if everything collapses into oneness, into a single reality, then that must be true. And this one line at the very end, where we say, I am awake now, this is one of the most important things we can say, to declare this, to truly feel and to mean that statement, to use the power of the name of God, I am, to declare that there is nothing but being fully present to the awakening that is happening in and through each one of us right now. Yesterday, we talked about celebrating our brothers and our sisters' awakening no matter what, no matter how it appears, no matter what they're saying or where they seem to be in their mind. They could be in the darkest place imaginable. But it is up to me, it is up to each one of us to celebrate that. Because when we celebrate that, they are awakening. In fact, they are awake. In other words, they are completely loved by God, this and every moment. And nothing that happens here in this illusory world changes that. Just as nothing that happens to you in your dream reality changes anything about who you really are. So we say that statement, I am awake now, with resolute focus, with uncompromising zeal. And when we say that for ourselves, we recognize that we are not saying it only for ourselves. We're saying it for each and every single one that is present now, with us, as us, contained together in this experience of what we sometimes call God. Call it whatever you want. But we know what it is that we're feeling. There is an awakening that is happening. There is a vibrancy that is taking over our lives. Feel that, know that, celebrate that. Don't accept any compromise to that vibrancy. Because the instant you accept a compromise in another person, you're really accepting it only for yourself. There is a part of our brain, in the limbic brain, that does not know the difference between me saying something about you or me saying something about myself. So whenever I say anything about you, I'm really claiming it for myself and my brain. So this happens even on a physical level. My brain accepts it as true. So why would I do anything but celebrate you and the reality that is forever real within you? And when I say I am awake now, to know that this is true with you no matter what. Hold to those three words. No matter what, love is the only reality. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to claim. There's nothing else. Because when we truly claim that which has always claimed us, then that holy current, that sacred river takes hold of us and pulls us naturally and easily into that infinite ocean of grace. So I'm really just piggybacking here on what we shared yesterday. The celebration of your brothers and your sisters, no matter where they seem to be. Imagine how your life would change if every moment you embrace people just as God would. Love just as God loves everyone, without conditions. This is what we mean when we say to celebrate the awakening. So let's let that be our jumping off point. I'm going to turn things over now to Sheila and Vicky, and you can take it from here. Let's celebrate together, folks. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Thank you, James.
Good to go. I just got the red green light. Thank you, technical support. I tell you, sometimes when I get in the zone, and which is what I always do when I'm getting ready to talk or anything, or to be with you, I like to get in the zone, and I have a variety of ways that I do that. But if there's a flurry of activity or anxiety or negative emotions going on or technical issues, it can really get me back out of the zone. You ever notice that? Yeah. And then I have tools. Do you have tools that you use to get you back there? Yeah, y'all do. So, James talked about awakening together, uncompromising focus. And really, when we say that, awaken now, think about what that means, and not just put out there little cliche, beautiful, flowery words that we don't even think about what it means, but really focus. Think about what it means. Awake now, each other. And so when we say it, we don't want to just say it frivolously. We want to say it with meaning and focus and attentiveness and intention, consciously, through an attentive, watchful listening of our hearts. So this morning, I downloaded an app on my phone. Technology. Aren't you proud of me? I got this. And it is Centering Prayer app. You've heard of Centering Prayer. Some of you are saying yes. Was brought about. It's a contemporary method of prayer or meditation. And for me, prayer and meditation can be interchangeable. So it's by a priest and a monk, Thomas Keating, Keating, one of my favorites. And he wrote books like Invitation to Love and Open Mind, Open Heart. And let's see, another book that, Intimacy with God. But this book was called Contemporary Prayer. And in the book, he talks about something called centering prayer. It's very simple, and some of you would probably say it's really a meditation. But sometimes I don't see how you can take those two apart. So, Father Thomas Keating. So, in that kind of prayer, you choose a sacred holy word. You choose it. And it can be words like, let's see, I made a list of a few possibilities. Love. Duh, right? Peace. Joy. Faith. Trust. How about grace? Mercy. Calm. Did I say joy? Yes. It doesn't hurt to say that one more than once, right? Open. It can even be the word yes. I say yes. I'm going to say yes. Word like holy, sacred, glory, let go. And in my favorite, I have, it doesn't have to be just one word. It can be a little, 3 words or however many you need, because it's yours. But I love to do divine love and wisdom. Divine love and divine wisdom. Those two really fit together. And so when I go into centering prayer, which I do a lot, I just repeat divine love and wisdom. So you introduce your word. What would be some words that you might have? Just say it out loud and I'll repeat it so they can hear it. Grace. Gratitude.
Light.
Kindness. Light. Thank you. Yeah, out there on the Zoom world. Good morning. I forgot to say good morning. I forgot to say good morning to you guys. So yes, please do chime in. Thank you. Okay, so you get what I mean. So do you each have a word in mind that you, at least for now, I mean it may change later. So what you do is you introduce the word and you focus on that word over and over and over. And the point is to go into silence, to go to God. Or I like to say, go to the void. Another word for God for me is the void. So that's the point of it. So you're concentrating on your sacred holy word until you go to the void. And it doesn't have to last long. It's very effective, very powerful. And then as you feel like you're in the space, you let go of it. You end the prayer. So any of you ever do that? Yeah. So I don't know, sometimes though, I was thinking this morning, these are things that I have to do and I had to do this morning to get in the zone. And I'm thinking you guys could probably, use some of this sometimes when you get knocked out of your zone. When things get chaotic and you get monkey mind and you just can't get back into the space or the sacred space or the calm that you want to get into. So I think music for me, a song. I woke up in the middle of the night. I just will get like one line of a song and it'll be a message to me. And the other night I woke up to this line by a song back in the 70s maybe? No, 60s maybe. It was by Kathy Jean, Angel Baby, My Angel Baby. No one could love you like I do. No one could love you like I do. And I thought, is that my dad who's on the other side of the veil? No. Is that my ex-husband who's on the other side of the veil? No, that doesn't seem quite right. Oh, I get it. It's my soul talking to me. No one could love you like I do. Listen to your soul. No one could love you like I do. Another song that comes up for me that really helps me get in the space is Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand. Make this world a better place, if you can. Diana Ross, you remember that one? Yeah. Does that one get to you too? And then, there's one by Jack Fowler, and it's called In the Silence. In the silence, I find peace. In the silence, I find relief. In the silence, I find unspoken joy. In the silence, I find God. In the silence, I find myself. And then there's another song by Daniel Nahmad, who's big in the New Thought music. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper. I feel my soul go deeper. I feel my love go deeper. That one really gets me in the space. Have you heard that one? Look these up. They're wonderful tools. And then there's another one that I like to use, and it's by Shayna Knoll. That one too. But this one, she said, you had a dream. You misunderstood. You thought we were separate. But now you hear my voice. So just, she says, close your eyes and breathe deeply now. She says, I am with you. I am with you. So when I'm getting ready to speak and I feel like, I can't do this by myself. No, I can't. And so I remember, I am with you. Huh. Yes, of course. So I love those songs. And then there's a prayer called affirmative prayer that Unity uses, and it's where we don't beg, beseeching God to come and buy me a Mercedes Benz, or God, please come fix this problem, make me feel better, come intervene in my life. And no, we don't do that. We affirm it's already happening as we speak. And so that's faith. That's faith. I have faith it's already happening. I don't even have to say the words. It's already happening. Isn't that a relief to know we don't have to figure it all out? So I affirm that whatever it is that I feel like I'm needing right now, it's already happening. And then I use heart math a lot. How many are familiar with heart math? When you drop down from this head, this intellect, this human mind, which has a purpose, but for the moment we drop down out of that for the 12 inches into our heart, and we focus on the heart. And then we breathe deeply and rhythmically, almost as if breathing through the heart. And then we think of something that is easy for us to appreciate. That just when we think of it, it just brings a big smile to our heart and maybe even to our face. Like I use this picture of me and my 3-year-old granddaughter, and we're in our fairy costumes, Cinderella costumes at Halloween, and she's just got this sweet little demure look on her face. And when I think of that picture, I just can't help. My heart just smiles, and I just go, oh. And or a kitten, or an ocean waves when I'm out there floating on a floaty in Hawaii, looking up at the sky, or a piece of music, or oh boy, you know what I mean? It's like a sense of awe. So you have something that's easy for you to appreciate. And so what we do then is after we've focused on our heart and breathe, then we go to that which is easy for us to appreciate. And we feel that appreciation. We feel it, the feeling that goes with it. So that's just a really cool method. So I have a few more words to say, but I'm going to leave them till the end. I only have like one liner because right now I wish I had time to put us in the space, but maybe at the end we can do that to help send you away in that space if you're not already there. So I'm going to ask Vicki to come in with her thoughts, if you would, Vicki.
Yes, Sheila, so happy to be here. Good morning, everybody. It's always a joy, always. So I love the theme of being in the zone, because I feel like we're called to live in the zone 24/7. And that the key is not going back into ordinary thought, separation thought. The key to healing isn't the opening for an instant, it's the staying open that allows spirit to come in and take over. That's living in the zone. And I want to mention, there's a good prayer. I love that you did centering prayer, affirming prayer. And I wanted to mention another very helpful prayer by Thomas Keating that I've spoken of before. It's called Welcome, Welcome, Welcome. And you can all look it up just under that title for Thomas Keating. And it's the most, perfect prayer and simple to move from problems and thinking into one state of being in that zone of holiness and coming into the presence of God. It's going to God for God, like Joel Goldsmith says. It's going to spirit for the joy of spirit, for the joy of feeling that presence, living in that presence. And it's called welcome, welcome, welcome. And we put aside everything else, every emergency, every seeming problem, and we come to God with holy, empty hands. So I wanted to mention that by Thomas Keating. And I'll tell you, from James's intro this morning, one I'm going to start using is celebrate. Celebrate is a great centering prayer because celebrate without opposite guarantees us vision. And vision, how we see things. We see things in holiness or we see things in separation. We see things in love or we see things in fear. And no matter how we define it, it will always come back to only that. And in my own experience, I've seen that, oh, celebrate, Judy, look at you put it up. Celebrate, what a good word to hold on to. But the healing that comes to us when we hold, when we stay steady in that zone of peace, of love, whatever word we use, Jesus, Buddha. I use thank you. That's been one I've been using for years now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because that feeling of gratitude of what is already there just arises up. And any experience of correction or healing I've ever seen, it comes with that steadfast holding to the space of the heart rather than going back to the storyline and engaging it, talking about it, going over it again. The temptation for all of us to do that is the greatest temptation of what we might call the ego. And the willingness to not do that is what healing is. The willingness to keep our mind in that spot of vision. There's a line Jesus uses, he says, leave not your place on high in the course. And what he's talking about is not leaving our place of vision, that with holy eyes, we see holiness. We see the Christ in everyone and everything, no matter the outside appearances. In holiness, it is impossible not to forgive appearances. It's like forgiveness sometimes gets a bad rep. Like, what is forgiveness and all the levels and the progression of healing we've all gone through trying to understand forgiveness. And I want to do a shout out to our Jewish brothers and sisters, recognizing it was Yom Kippur yesterday, the holiest holiday of the year, to celebrate healing, forgiveness, atonement. It is, and because it's the holiest holiday that we can live in for all of us, if we let whoever we have on the hook, that they're a little bit to blame, they're a little bit wrong, they need a little bit of correction. He's a drug addict, she's a alcoholic, he's a this, she's a that. Let everyone off the hook, all of them. And maybe see who you're still holding on the hook that has something they ought to change, someplace they ought to be better. And that's not holy eyes. Holy eyes sees the finished product, even if it isn't shown up yet. Pay attention. It's like seeing the Matthew, not the tax collector, but the Christ. The same as Mary Magdalene. See Mary, the Holy Mary. For all of us, who's on the hook in our lives, and let them off that hook. That's what holiness does. Holiness sees innocence where the ego sees guilt, where the ego sees need for improvement, where the ego sees, oh, they've got to go through big restoration or big apologies or big this. Holiness sees immediate recognition of nothing but the light that we share. That's what we're called to do. If we want to celebrate, we celebrate each other's innocence. And as we celebrate each other's innocence, we come into our own innocence. And that's a free playground. When we're living in our innocence, we are childlike because nothing is covering us up or holding us back. and we can relax. We can be little children that live with a God that cares for us, that's in charge. It's in our innocence. There's another line in the Course that says, the atonement or the oneness, the one-ment, recognizing our oneness in light as divine, as we recognize that heals all sickness, because it heals the guilt that made sickness possible. So when we see one another in light, in holiness, we're recognizing ourselves in that. We're letting everyone off the hook of guilt. We're accepting our innocence and our brother's innocence, not worrying about whatever dream he's been dreaming or I've been dreaming. We're not dream states. We are the light. We're created as the light. We have a substance of holiness, a power of love, a presence of peace. That's who and what we are. And that comes forward as we drop any sense of anyone guilty for anything, let them off the hook. Everyone, political figures, friends, family, everyone. I recently had a friend that looked like perhaps there was a drug problem. Pay no attention to that drug problem, I heard in my heart. Pay attention to the light and celebrate together the light. And that's what we do. We celebrate the light. Don't worry about those details. If they're to come up or to be addressed or something's to be done this way or the other, it will be presented and it will unfold through love no matter what. If we live a life of celebrating innocence, holiness, and oneness, then it is impossible that we hold on to sickness or that we see it. And if we're seeing it, our eyes are the only things that need correction. Our sight, not our brother's form. And as we do that, this is the second coming. This is how we are restoring ourselves to life in the kingdom. And we're doing it every day. We're doing it wherever we are. And the truth is, sometimes we do it a little bit, or we do it when we need to, when we're called on to do something important. But the most important time is when there's nothing going on, when we're home and we're resting, when we're just relaxing, when we're cleaning the house, doing the dishes, when we're driving the car, to stay in that state. If we stay in that state, if we give our willingness to spirit to love only, celebrate only, be grateful only, live in holiness only, and we stop, I mean, stop, like drop it like a hot potato, stop every other engaging of thinking, within 3 days, no joke. I've seen this in my own life, and I've seen it in many, many of my brothers and sisters. If you can hold to not re-engaging a situation with your thought, with your speaking, with your action for at least 3 days, it is inevitable that everything changed, because the ego that had the grip of guilt on our minds and on the picture has been so loosened, it falls away. And the shift that was needed was the shift in us sticking to one identity, not in going back to a dreamland story time and going over and over and coming in and out of it, but the consistency. So try it, anyone. Any issue you have, try it for 3 days. Do not let your mind wander into temptation. Don't do it. Stick to celebrate, stick to joy, stick to love, no matter what. Jimmy's right about those 3 words, no matter what. Stick to that for 3 days and see for yourself if whatever was on your mind hasn't shifted. Your mind will shift, and eventually the picture shifts as well, because we have been the source of the picture, and we're no longer sourcing from guilt. We are now the source of innocence, and it's impossible that it not be projected out. That's why if we let go of the guilt in our own mind, sickness falls away, or our experience of sickness will fall away, and we will be free of suffering of any sort. So try it for 3 days. It's a 3-day promise. Let me know. Listen, today is Tuesday, so let's see by Friday. Okie dokie, Sheila. Thank you very much, everybody. I love you all. I love you, and I thank you with all my heart. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Vicki. Celebrate good times. There's a song. And celebrate each other. Thank you ever so much. In the interest of time, our time is up, so I'm going to invite you all to go wherever you go and do your own centering prayer. You got this, so I don't need to lead you anywhere.
So I posted the link to the welcome prayer in the chat.
In the chat, you posted the link to the welcome prayer. Okay, so, well, the people here,
Zoom people can see it.
all you Zoom people can see it, and then we can go back and look at it. Great, thank you, Tim. You're looking out for us, aren't you? Well, I just want to close with this one thing. The greatest lesson I've ever learned from this life is that I still have an awful lot to learn. Gonna leave you with that now and say, have a blessed day, everyone. Amen. Amen. Amen.